Welcome to this new video. In this video we will talk about Will Durant's The Story of Civilization. The Story of Civilization by the American writer, historian, and philosopher Will Durant and his wife, Ariel Durant, is an 11-volume set of books covering Western history and published between 1935 and 1975. The series was written over a span of more than 4 decades. It totals 4 million words across nearly 10,000 pages. The first 6 volumes of The Story of Civilization are credited to Will Durant alone. Beginning with the 7th volume, Ariel is credited as a co-author. In the first volume, Will Durant stated that he wanted to include the history of the West to the early 20th century. However, the series ends with the age of Napoleon, because the Durants both died, but they left behind notes for a 12th volume, the age of Darwin, and an outline for a 13th, the age of Einstein. Of his and her inability to live long enough to adequately investigate their passion, Will Durant wrote, "We could do almost anything if time would slow up. But it runs on, and we melt away trying to keep up with it." The Story of Civilization is regarded as the most successful historiographical series in history. Will Durant perceived philosophy as a means to unify and humanize historical knowledge, and those who wade into the volumes are surprised to find them marked by painstaking scholarship, by profuse detail, and by the philosophical perspective that recalls Spengler's wish that only philosophers would write history. Will Durant won a wide readership through his ability to make history intriguing, lively, and dramatic. His volumes have sold millions of copies. Some even became bestsellers. And the 10th volume, Rousseau and Revolution, won a Pulitzer Prize in 1968 for general nonfiction. Individual volumes have been translated into more than 20 languages, and the whole series was translated into Arabic in 45 volumes. One of the famous quotes by the Irish poet and playwright Oscar Wilde is, "Anybody can make history. Only a great man can write it." And Will Durant was really a great man. In the preface of the first volume of The Story of Civilization, Will Durant explained his purpose by saying that he had laid upon himself to write a history of civilization, and he wished to tell as much as he could, in as little space as he could, of the contributions that genius and labor had made to the cultural heritage of mankind, such as the advances of invention, the varieties of economic organization, the experiments in government, the aspirations of religion, the mutations of morals and manners, the masterpieces of literature, the development of science, the wisdom of philosophy, and the achievements of art. And he added that it had been made clear to him that no one mind, and no single lifetime, can adequately compass this task. Nevertheless, he have dreamed that, despite the many errors inevitable in this undertaking, it may be of some use to those upon whom the passion for philosophy has laid the compulsion to try to see things whole, to pursue perspective, unity, and understanding through history and time. In the preface of the first volume of The Story of Civilization, Will Durant explained his opinion about the method of writing history by saying that he felt that writing history in separate longitudinal sections, such as economic history, religious history, the history of philosophy, science or art, and so on, does injustice to the unity of human life, and that it should be written collaterally, as well as lineally, synthetically, as well as analytically, and that the ideal historiography would seek to portray, in each period, the total complex of a nation's culture, institutions, adventures and ways. But history had been divided into 1,000 isolated specialties, and he later termed this shredded history, and called for an integral history, which he called cultural history, or the history of the mind. And he stated that he had intended to make the series in 5 volumes. Our Oriental Heritage, Our Classical Heritage, Our Medieval Heritage, Our European Heritage, Our Modern Heritage. But this would not turn out to be the case, and the series was published in 11 volumes. Our Oriental Heritage, The Life of Greece, Caesar and Christ, The Age of Faith, The Renaissance, The Reformation, The Age of Reason begins, The Age of Louis XIV, The Age of Voltaire, Rousseau and Revolution, The Age of Napoleon. I think that this is enough for today's video, and we will continue in the next video. In this series, we are talking about Will Durant's The Story of Civilization in English. And there are 2 other series have the same content of this video series. One in English with the Arabic translation, and one in Arabic only. If you want to see one of them, the links are below. For more videos like this, click like and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching and goodbye.